Why do I feel empty? Touching a glowing ember with a stick until it broke apart in a soft burst of orange light. The fire crackled, sending a spiral of sparks into the dark sky. Around him, the listeners sat close, some wrapped in blankets, others with hands stretched toward the warmth. He glanced at them, eyes reflecting the flame. "You ever feel like something's missing?" he began quietly, "even when nothing seems wrong?" A few heads tilted. Someone shifted in the dirt. He nodded, as if expecting that. "I once knew a woman," he said, "who carried that exact feeling. Not sadness, mind you. Not grief. Just an absence. Like walking into a house and realizing there's no furniture, not even dust. Just space." The wind stirred lightly through the trees. Her life looked fine from the outside. She had work to keep her busy, people to talk to, things that should have meant something. And sometimes they did, for a moment. A laugh here, a distraction there. But underneath it all, he tapped his chest lightly. Nothing. Just a quiet, steady sense that something wasn't there. A younger listener frowned. Did she lose something? The old man gave a faint smile. That's exactly what she thought. He leaned back, watching the fire settle. So she tried to fix it. Filled her days even more. More noise, more plans, more voices. Music in the background, conversations stacked on conversations. Anything to cover that silence. He paused, letting the crackling fill the space. And it worked. For a while. Like throwing logs on a weak fire, it flares up. But the moment things went still again, that emptiness was waiting. Same as before. One of the listeners hugged their knees. "That sounds exhausting." "It is," the old man said simply. "Trying to outrun something that doesn't chase you. It just waits." The group fell quiet. One evening, he continued, she got tired. Not the kind of tired sleep fixes. The deeper kind. The kind that comes from trying too hard for too long. He drew a slow breath. So she did something different. She stopped. A log shifted in the fire with a soft collapse. No music. No phone. No plans. She just sat there, alone with it. He looked around the circle, meeting a few eyes. At first, it felt unbearable, like being dropped into a wide, empty room. No walls close enough to touch. No sound. Nothing to hold on to. A faint breeze passed, rustling leaves overhead. But she stayed. The old man's voice softened. And after a while, something curious happened. The emptiness didn't fight her, didn't grow heavier, didn't demand anything at all. He gestured slowly with his hand, as if shaping the air. It was just space. No one spoke. And in that space, he said, she noticed something she'd never seen before. He let the silence stretch just a moment longer. It wasn't actually heavy. It only felt that way when she tried to escape it. A few listeners shifted, leaning in. When she stopped pushing against it, it changed, became lighter, quieter. He smiled faintly, almost peaceful. The fire popped sharply, and someone startled, then laughed softly. She sat there longer, he continued. And something else appeared. Not joy, not some grand feeling. Just a small, steady awareness. Breathing, sitting, being. He tapped the ground beside him. The emptiness didn't disappear, but it stopped feeling like a hole. It felt more like an open sky. A long pause followed. And that's when she realized something that surprised her, he said. He looked up at the stars. Nothing was missing. A murmur passed through the group. All her life, he went on, she'd been used to feeling full. Full of thoughts, reactions, noise, movement. And when that fullness faded, she thought something had gone wrong. He shook his head gently. But what if it hadn't? The firelight flickered across his face, deepening the lines there. What if that feeling wasn't emptiness at all, but space she'd never learned how to sit in? No one spoke now. The questions she carried began to change, he said. It wasn't how do I fix this anymore. He looked at them one by one. It became, what happens if I leave it alone? The wind quieted. Even the trees seemed to listen. And in that small shift, he said, something softened. Life didn't suddenly become exciting, but it became gentler, wider, more honest. He pressed the stick into the dirt and let it rest. You see, he added, voice low, we spend so much of our lives filling every corner. Noise, thoughts, distractions. So when those things fall away, he spread his hands slightly. We mistake the space for something broken. A listener near the edge whispered, but it's not. The old man smiled, a quiet, knowing thing. No, he said. Sometimes it's the first time anything real has room to appear. The fire burned low now, embers glowing deep red. He leaned back, eyes half closed. And that's the strange part, he murmured. The thing we try hardest to escape might be the very place where something true begins. The group sat in silence, each person staring into the fire, or perhaps into something just beyond it. And above them, the night stretched wide and open, like a sky that had been there all along.